laps. That's Brian Hall taking the early lead. Clarence Smith, Chris Haney, Harry Hamilton tries to make the move up as well. But it's Brian Hall leading the way. Clarence Smith there in second spot. Chris Haney is third. Harry Hamilton. Kevin Glisson spins out. Also spinning out in car number 23 was Brian Webster. And that brings the yellow flag out. Race back underway. Brian Hall in car 3, your leader Clarence Smith in second. Chris Haney, Harry Hamilton, Gerald Susie. And then it's also looking to move up Charlie Michaud, Greg Ward, Paul Page. Can I have your name?
David Young from Loring.
David Young from Loring wins the t-shirt from Yusef's Restaurant. And that's Gerald Susie, Chris Haney, Greg Ward. All involved over there. And Gerald Susie. Comes down, that's Brian Hall taking the lead. Harry Hamilton there in second spot. And it's Brian Hall, Harry Hamilton, Charlie Michaud looking to make the move up now. Goes up around Harry Hamilton to go into second spot. Paul Page and Darcy Labby trying to make the move now around Harry Hamilton. It's Brian Hall leading the way. Brian Hall in car number 3, your leader, Charlie Michaud second. And Darcy Labby, Paul Page, Harry Hamilton, Gerald Susie, Brian Webster, Robert Burgoyne, and then it's Kevin Glisson, along with Greg Wark, Charlie Spencer, and Reginald Davis. It's car number 3, Brian Hall, continuing to lead the way. Charlie Michaud there in second spot. 1961 on the last lap. 19.61, right around 60 miles an hour for Brian Hall in car number 3. Charlie Michaud there in second spot. Darcy Labby tries to make the move inside now for second. He and Charlie Michaud go side by side. Darcy Labby with the inside position moves up into second spot. Charlie Michaud drops back into third. And it's Brian Hall leading the way. Darcy Labby second. Charlie Michaud, Paul Page, Harry Hamilton, and Gerald Susie all follow. But it's still Brian Hall, your leader. Darcy Labby, Charlie Michaud, 19.26 on the last lap, 62.4 miles an hour. And that's Brian Hall building up a big lead out there. Brian Hall, your leader. Brian Hall, Darcy Labby, Charlie Michaud, Paul Page, Harry Hamilton, Gerald Susie. It's still Brian Hall in car number 3, leading the way. Don't forget, of course, next week we'll have another exciting weekend of stock car racing for you, the 50-lap Miller Street Stock Championship. That's sponsored by Rustic Beverage. We want to welcome Rustic Beverage Award for their support. Also next week, there will be a staff race. Many of the staffers here will be getting into the mini cars next weekend and doing a few laps, a 15-lap feature race for them. That's Brian Hall leading the way. Darcy Labby, Charlie Michaud, Paul Page. But it's still Brian Hall. Brian Hall leads the way still in car number 3. Builds up a comfortable lead out there. And he holds the big lead out there over the rest of them. That's Brian Hall leading the way. Darcy Labby there in second spot. And in third position, Charlie Michaud. Paul Page, Gerald Susie, Harry Hamilton. 1950 on the last one, 19.5 miles an hour. And this time around, of course, Brian Hall continues to lead it over halfway through, one lap over halfway through this race now. So Brian Hall in car number 3. Chris Haney comes out of the pits now in his car number 68. But it's Brian Hall, has it going his way. Huge lead over Darcy Labby and Charlie Michaud, who are out there battling for second spot. But it's Brian Hall out front. Brian Hall continues to run away with the race so far. Darcy Labby there in second spot. Charlie Mitchell third. 19.38 on the last lap. 61 miles an hour for Brian Hall. Kevin Glisson over on the back stretch as well. But it's Brian Hall in car number 3. That's the race going his way, right around 61 or 62 miles an hour for car number 3, Brian Hall. Darcy Labby and Charlie Mitchell battling for second spot. They just go by Robert Burgoyne. But it's still Brian Hall on the backstretch. All alone, Darcy Labby there in second spot. And there's Brian Webster back out on the track in 23. That's Darcy Labby making the inside move around Chris Haney to hold on to second spot. And Charlie Mitchell goes on the outside of Haney to stay in third. 19.38 on the last lap. For your leader, that's Brian Hall. And Darcy Labby and Charlie Mitchell. Mitchell tries to make the move on the outside and move up into second spot. Darcy Labby has the inside line, but Charlie Mitchell tries to go by him on the outside. Darcy Labby holds him off for that lap. But it's still Brian Hall all alone at the top. And then it's Darcy Labby and Charlie Mitchell. Labby with about a car length lead over Charlie Mitchell. Mitchell tries to go on the inside, but Labby pinches him off for the number 2 spot. Brian Hall continues to hold on to it in 19.71. Darcy Labby and Charlie Mitchell still going up there for second and third spot. But all alone at the top is Brian Hall in car number 3. His car definitely showing the speed here today. He's there in car number 3 with a huge lead. Charlie Spencer's car number 19 slows down, gets ready to probably pull off into the pits. Darcy Labby and Charlie Mitchell still battling. 6.56 second lead for Brian Hall over Darcy Labby. So 6.5 seconds, almost a 7-second lead for Brian Hall with 2 laps to go in this one. 2 laps left for Brian Hall as he tries to go for the checkered flag. Darcy Labby and Charlie Mitchell continuing their battle for second spot. But it's still Brian Hall running all alone over on the backstretch, about a 7-second lead, a little over 7-second lead now over Darcy Labby in car number 44, Charlie Mitchell in car number 22. Brian Hall gets the white flag. That's Gerald Susie also trying to go on the outside of Charlie Mitchell. 19.65 on the last lap, 19.65 seconds on the last lap for your race leader, Brian Hall. And here he is, coming by to take the checkered flag for car number 3. There's Darcy Labby in car number 44, Charlie Mitchell in car number 22. And also going by Gerald Susie in 11, Harry Hamilton, Greg Ward, and Paul Page. He won that race by 8.86 seconds. Can I help you with something?
You haven't started doing the finishing order thing.
Car number 3, winning the race by almost 9 seconds, getting ready to take his victory lap now.
He beat 22. Oh, he did?
Coming back into the winner's circle, a big hand for car number 3. That's Brian Hall taking the checkered flag. Finishing third in the race in car number 11, Gerald Susie. Finishing second, Darcy Labby. And Brian Hall, your race winner. Yeah. Now we have another drawing. This is for a Winston Cup Series hat. This given to us by the Anheuser-Busch Racing Apparel truck that you see out back there with all kinds